Welcome to this week's episode of Tilted. This week we're talking about whether Overwatch League is going to find success, why South Korea is the most dominant in esports, what's considered an appropriate prize pool in esports, and finally, pros shouldn't act like punks. That's Tilted coming your way. Let's get this started. Well, it's time for another episode of Tilted, but first I'd like to introduce my co-hosts, starting, of course, with Taylor Cock. How's it going, Taylor?
It's going pretty good. It's kind of quiet in esports right now, and I'm sort of in hibernation, so I'm chilling.
Really? I feel like it's crazy. We got I Am Oakland coming this weekend.
Well, BlizzCon's done, Worlds is done, now we got I Am Oakland, and it's kind of like, oh.
Wow, not hyped about I Am Oakland. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
The teams?
Later in the show. Next up, we've got Zareen T. How's it going, Zareen?
Hi, good, thank you. Great to be back.
You're so proper and polite compared to, hey, it's great. I love it here. It's fantastic. It's
Well, it's my second ever episode of Tilted, and I'm glad to be returning.
Really?
You'll,
Wow,
you'll
okay.
loosen up and get down to our level at some
Feels
point.
like you've been here forever. Finally, joining us from our Seattle offices is Michael Martin. How's it going, Michael?
Great. I'm actually moving to Australia now that Zoreen's here.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
that's
right,
nice.
the
That's
trade.
the swap thing, I think, is a
Yes.
thing that they do, right? Well, either way, for those of you that have never watched Tilted before, Tilted is a show, where we talk about esports and the topics that make us crazy. Every week we have our hosts dismantle and discuss esports-related thoughts and theories with the group. Later on, we're joined at the end of the show by Yahoo Esports Managing Editor Ben Silverman to quiz us on our esports knowledge. We keep score every week on the MMR leaderboard, which is a point system that lets us know who has the stacked deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at how things are standing. So in first place, there's me, and then in every other place, there's everybody else. Now we know how things are going.
Travis, there's
That joke
30
is-
points
Wow,
between
that's
us.
a big
That
gap.
joke is not overplayed.
I will give you all of my points if you never make that joke again.
Yeah,
That seems like a fair trade.
whatever. Either way, let's go ahead and start getting into things. And of course, as always, because I'm number one on the leaderboard, I get to talk first. So you guys all went to BlizzCon.
Yes.
I did not because I was at Michael didn't, but you both did. Because I was in Maui at a wedding, which is fantastic, by the way. Thanks for asking. And one of the things I did catch up on was the fact that Blizzard has officially announced a Overwatch League. Now, details are still sparse, but there are some interesting things going on here. One of which is that the league is going to sort of try to play off of city rivalries. And that apparently there was a big conference where we saw a bunch of billionaires, and this is the rumor anyway, billionaires and sports league owners and from traditional sports, all there to see about trying to get into this league and whether or not they're going to have a team, all this kind of crazy stuff. And I don't know, it's interesting. Part of me wants to be really excited about this, part of me doesn't. And the question I have for everybody here is should we be excited about Overwatch League? Is this going to succeed? Can Blizzard pull this off? Because StarCraft 2 not having a good year, Heroes never really came into anything, Hearthstone seems to be stuck. Is this actually going to happen with Overwatch this year now that they've announced the league and we have at least some details?
First of all, is Hearthstone stuck? It seems like Hearthstone is really kind of rapidly
Killing it.
becoming one of the premier esports here. But
Rapidly.
regardless,
If it is, it's certainly not rapid in my opinion.
well, you were in Hawaii during the World Championship, so
Well,
it's fine.
1 week it suddenly skyrocketed. I guess I missed it.
It's very popular right now.
Yeah.
It's but I don't know. I think that this is something that I'm really hesitant to throw my full weight behind, just because it's something that, first of all, has never really properly been done in esports. It's never been done well. Sort of this location-based teams, and I'm really apprehensive to see if they can actually convince people that it's a good idea to become a fan of your home team. It's never been a successful thing in esports. Second of all, we don't know what the payment structure is going to be like necessarily. We don't know how much money is going to be going to these teams specifically. We don't know really anything about it yet, other than the fact that it's it's going to be the teams are going to have ownership of the league, and there's all these different payout schemes and blah blah blah. It just seems like there's too many questions for us to make a call right now. But I am really apprehensive to see if loyalty happens.
You were there, and I'm very curious because that was kind of one of the weird takeaways for me too, is that it doesn't feel like, it's like this is BlizzCon, they have all these huge announcements, and they're just like, and there's going to be a league. and all this stuff. And there's T-shirts you can buy right now they were in the BlizzCon store for this league. No one knows anything about it, right?
Well, the thing is, BlizzCon, the audience at BlizzCon isn't necessarily going to be the main audience for Overwatch League. So I think that's why the announcement kind of came at an interesting time, because BlizzCon people are there like for the games and for all the other titles. They're not necessarily all there for esports. But I'm really excited about Overwatch League, and I'm really excited to see where it'll go, because I feel like this is Blizzard taking a big step in legitimizing esports, and I think that's what we really need. And they're bringing in all these like other large organizations and like people who are like big names in sports. So we've heard, and that excites me. And I think the whole like the franchising like model that they've gone for will be a really good thing, because people can get behind teams and become fans and buy merchandise and know that their teams will be around for some time to come.
Before I throw to Michael Martin, I want to point out that on your first episode of Tilted, you were like, I don't think Overwatch is going to succeed as an esport. And now on your second episode of Tilted, you're like, and I'm very excited about this Overwatch League. It's going to be great.
Okay, I think Overwatch League itself, the idea is great.
Yeah.
Overwatch as an esport, like the concept of that, still has ways to go.
So you're excited for this league to exist around a game that won't be able to be an esport. Just to be clear.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
All right,
As someone who's on her side.
Let's go to Michael Martin. Hopefully he can make a little bit more sense of this.
I don't know. This is it's an interesting development, I guess. I was also kind of on the I don't think that Overwatch necessarily can succeed as an esport, although the whole league idea obviously throws a new wrinkle in that. I like the idea that it follows a traditional sports model. I think we've talked about this in the past too, in regards of like having teams that fans can be invested in. I don't know. I think my thing is it's great that you're going to put these teams together. Ideally, if it works, it's great for the players. But I just kind of envision this thing where we have a team, let's say in Seattle, and they're not very good. Why would I want to follow this team that's not very good? Or if Korea continues to rule Overwatch like it does so many other esports, why would you follow any of these other teams? Why would I buy a jersey with these, I don't know, lovable losers if it comes to that?
Don't people buy North American jerseys all the time?
Yeah, like TSM.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lovable losers.
Personality thing.
But that's the thing, is every team in every city going to have that personality? I don't know. I think Taylor said it best. We just don't know enough about this thing. And until we, I guess, know more, it's really hard to kind of judge this whole league idea. Although, like I said, I'm kind of in favor of it. I like the idea. The implementation of it is, who knows?
Yeah, the scary thing about this, like you said, with the implementation of it, is that it's really going to be hard to judge this thing until we're about a year in, right? Like, you have to take a look at the amount of viewership that it's getting, and then the amount of sponsorship interest, and then the amount of money that Blizzard is putting into it, and whether or not the teams are going to who the owners are going to be, blah blah blah. This isn't going to get shaken out in its first year necessarily. Like this is going to take a full year, maybe 2 years before we know if this was a good idea and this is going to be successful.
I'm going to make a prediction here as we're counting down out of time on this topic. I believe that before the league begins, we will see Blizzard back out of their decision to have these be like city localized or centralized. I just logistically don't understand how this is going to work. I think everybody they're trying to partner with will put up a fight around it too. So that's my prediction. Either way, we'll have to see how that goes.